Coming to you from the Deep South, this is the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast. High-impact leadership is not reserved for leaders, and it has nothing to do with your position, title, or rank. However, it does have everything to do with your character. It's time to climb to the next level and beyond, personally and professionally. Now, let's start making it happen with your host, Mack Story.
Hello, and thank you for stopping by the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast today. So here we are. We're finally wrapping up this 30-part series. It's been going on for quite a while, 30 weeks. It takes a long time to get through one of these 30-chapter books. But I hope you've enjoyed it. Today we're on part 30 of 30 in my series on blue collar leadership and supervision. Unleash your team's potential. So chapter 30 is titled The Ultimate Question. And the subtitle is actually the question. Will you be an informer or a transformer? What I'm talking about is as a leader of a group of people, your team, your organization, your family, are you going to be an informer or a transformer? And I'll share this quote to open it up from Carl Jung, I think is the way you say his name. I'm not 100% sure. It's spelled Jung. I'm going with Jung. I don't know. But his words, he says, I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. I'm not what happened to me. I'm what I choose to become. That's what your leadership journey is about. You decide. You're given a position and told to lead, but you decide how are you going to lead. What's your style going to be? And when it comes to informing and transforming other people, the question is, are you simply going to pass along information? Or will you passionately pass along inspiration? There's a big difference. Managers of people, low impact leaders, are informers. They pass along information. If they're doing a great job, sometimes they don't even do a good job at passing along information. But that's what an informer is. They pass along information. But high impact leaders, they're transformers. They're an inspiration to others. They move beyond information and they make a connection. And when they go beyond information, they go to connection, motivation, inspiration, and ultimately all that leads to transformation. So when a leader communicates with their team, they are positioned to inform. When a leader connects with their team, they are positioned to transform. In our world, our organizations, especially our blue-collar industries, the people are desperate for leaders who will step up, lead at a higher level, and make a bigger difference from wherever they may be. This book, if you've got the book and you've read through the book, you have a real deep understanding about what it's about. It's about leading at a much higher level. It's about moving beyond traditional management and supervision and toward high impact leadership. The people are hungry for it. I know because I see them. I've met them. I've led them. I see the potential in these folks. It's amazing. But they get compressed underneath the lid of a low impact leader or manager of people. And that's where they stay. But they don't have to. If they lead themselves well, they'd have some options, and one of them would be to get out from under that lid. But I'm talking about you today as a high-impact leader. You be the leader. You raise your own lid. It gives other people space to grow and to shine. And when they shine, you shine. As a leader, when the team looks better, the leader looks better. It's common sense, but it's not common practice. So managers change processes and procedures, but they don't change themselves. That's what managers of people. And again, I'm not talking about managers of things and processes. That's a good thing. We should be good at managing things and processes. When I'm always talking about managers, I'm talking about managers of people, because we should absolutely not be managing people. So if we're managing people, that's low impact leadership. That's a sad place to be as a leader, and it's a bad place to be if you happen to follow a leader like that. But again, I use the term manager of people for those low impact leaders. So these managers who change processes and procedures but not themselves, they're focused on the job and the results, not the people. They're goal oriented relative to the jobs and the results, not the people. That's why they're managers of people. It's all about the job and the results. They're trying to just reach a goal, reach a goal, reach a goal. And the goal is not personal growth and development or growth and development of the people. It's the jobs and the results that their boss or leader expects. The high impact leaders inspire people to make positive changes in their lives. They're focused on the people. They model what they expect from others, and they are growth oriented, not goal oriented. They may set goals, but those goals are to support consistent and continual growth. It's not just a goal out in space. When they reach it, they give up or they retire or whatever. See, that's one goal. A lot of low impact managers, low impact leaders and managers of people, that's one of their goals. When you talk about goal oriented, that's one of the top goals of a manager is retirement. Retirement is not about growth. Retirement's about quitting and stopping, not continuing. Growth oriented leaders, by the time they get to an age when people consider the normal age for retirement, they ain't worried about retiring. They may change their job, but they ain't worried about retiring because they've been growing. They have so much to give, so much to offer. They're focused on helping other people get to the top. Why would they quit at 65 when they've gathered up all this wisdom and all this experience? And I know there's some people out there that are going to be thinking, man, I can't wait till I retire. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about you. If that's you, I'm talking about you. Why you want to give up and quit on the world? If that's really your goal, you need to reflect in the mirror. Reflect in the mirror. Look in that mirror and reflect on who you are and where you're going. Anyone whose their goal is simply to get to retirement age, live a happy life to the end, nothing wrong with that, because you got to be successful to do that. But what I'm talking about is significance. Significance says that's not the goal. Significance says I want to help other people become successful. So instead of me living my happy life after retirement, coasting till I die, I'm going to try to make a higher impact, just as I've been doing all along. It's not for everybody. I'm just explaining my thought process here and what I mean. Because I can tell you what, I ain't worried about retirement. I worry about how long am I going to get to do what I'm doing. I remember when I started out my career, though, I was thinking about retirement. And one reason was because what I was doing, I didn't really like doing it. I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life. So I would be looking for a way to escape, and retirement would be one way to escape that life. But luckily, the light come on for me, and I figured out how to lead myself down the path to get to that life where I love doing what I'm doing. High impact leaders live with purpose, on purpose, for a purpose. That's what I'm talking about. My friend Amir Ganad, Amir, he didn't retire. He instead of being retired, he calls it rewired. He retired from the corporate world, but he didn't retire. He just rewired, and he became a speaker and a consultant, and he just kept right on trucking. He's a personal friend of mine. But Amir, when he rewired, he had been leading $8 billion Campbell Soup, and with leadership development from top to bottom, all around the world. And he had this to say: your transformation will not come from what I tell you, but from what you tell yourself, and ultimately what you do. And that's Amir's words. I'm telling you, that's the truth. I'm telling you right now, his words. Your transformation will not come from what I've been telling you, or what I ever tell you, or what Amir tells you, or any other high impact leader. But rather, it's going to come from what you tell yourself about what you're hearing, and ultimately what you do. What action do you take to become a higher level leader? The degree in which you're able to transform yourself will determine your ability to transform others. If you're struggling to lead your team, I can tell you why. It's because you're struggling to lead yourself. If you can't lead your team well, it's because you don't lead yourself well. I often say this: if a formal authority leader can't lead themselves well, they don't deserve to lead others at all. But that's not the way life works. People put them in a position of authority and let them flop around like a fish and call them a leader. I remember a friend told me, he said, giving someone a leadership position or title and thinking they're a leader, it's like giving someone a whistle and thinking they're a coach. Neither one of them makes sense. So I'm going to leave you with this thought from Norman Cousins as we wrap up this 30-part series on blue-collar leadership and supervision. And I'm telling you, if you're a formal authority leader and you haven't got this book and you haven't dove into it, and if leaders report to you and you're not leading them through a book study, you still got a lot of work to do. Norman Cousins says this: death is not the greatest loss in life. The greatest loss is what dies inside us while we live. Death is not the greatest loss in life. The greatest loss is what dies inside of us while we live. What he's talking about, in my words, when I read that, what I'm telling myself he's talking about is he's talking about potential. The potential inside of you for personal transformation, which is going to launch you to an entirely different level personally. But as you go through that transformation, you're going to cause others to transform themselves. You're going to be an inspiration that leads others to transformation. But it's not going to happen unless you pay the price. So I hope you enjoyed the series. Talk to you next time.
Make it happen or someone else will. It might as well be you. Are you serious about taking your career and your life to the next level and beyond? Check out Mack Story's Blue Collar Leadership series books and others, now available on audio, along with paperback and ebooks at Amazon, iTunes, and Audible. Please visit bluecollarleadership.com to learn about Mack's books, programs, special offers, certifications, and more. Thank you for listening to the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast.